What if I told you the fastest way to improve math achievement in your classroom is to let your students get things wrong? Yep, today we're talking all about embracing mistakes and why they're the secret sauce to math learning. Hey, teacher friends, I'm Dr. D, and if you teach math, elementary too, I'm talking to you. This video is all about making mistakes because somewhere along the way, students start to believe some really harmful myths about math, like it's all about being fast, math is about being right. And mistakes, if you make them, you're just bad at math. And I see this all the time as a middle school teacher. It literally breaks my heart. When an 11-year-old has already decided, I'm just not a math person, we get a problem. Because you and I both know this, whether or not you go to college or whether or not you choose a career in math, understanding math matters. It matters when you buy a car, it matters when you manage your bank account. And let's be real, we've all made math mistakes, like bouncing a check. But here's the truth, and I want you to hear this, and I want your students to hear it too. Mistakes are not failure. They are data. And when we treat them this way, that's when the real learning happens. That's the magic of doing math. So let's talk about brain science for a second. Don't worry, I will totally keep it teacher friendly. When students at any age make a mistake and then take the time to reflect on it, something really powerful happens in the brain. Mistakes create what neuroscientists call cognitive conflict. So the brain basically goes, wait, that didn't work. And that moment, that's when the learning kicks in. So students are analyzing what went wrong and they try again and their brain is forming stronger neural connections. And this is going to lead to deeper conceptual understanding, better long-term retention, and stronger number sense and problem-solving skills, right? Because they're practicing. So in other words, if we're not allowing them to make mistakes, shallow procedure learning. Productive mistakes, real math thinking. Let me show you what this looks like in a real classroom, okay? So say you're teaching fractions and the math problem is, what is 1/2 plus 1/4? One student might say it's 3/4. Another student might raise their hand and say, oh, it's 2/6. Now pause right there because this is a learning moment. Traditionally, we might just say, yes, the answer is 3/4. Let's keep going. But what just happened? That student who said 2/6 feels wrong and they don't understand why. And the classroom also learns that fractions and anything else in math is just about memorizing. They don't need to know why the answer is 3/4. So a mistake ignored becomes a missed opportunity. So here's a productive way you can address that mistake. Instead of immediately correcting the student, pause and say, interesting, can you show us how you got 2/6? And the student might explain something like, oh, I just added the top numbers and then I added the bottom numbers. Yeah, okay. Now, instead of labeling that as wrong, turn to the class and ask them, what do you notice about this strategy? Students can begin to articulate their thinking, not just their answers. Then push for further thinking. Ask them, does 2/6 match what 1/2 looks like? How can we check this? This is where the mistake becomes instructional goal, right? Pull out those fraction circles, fraction strips, and model. Show 1/2 shaded. Show 1/4 shaded. Line them up and ask your students, do these pieces match in size? What do you notice about the number of pieces? What needs to happen so that the pieces are the same size? Now students are reasoning about units, not just numbers. And a student might just say, we changed 1/2 into 4s. Yes, a win. So you can model the idea visually and symbolically. That's deep learning. You can show your students how when they shade 1/2 and partition it into fourths, 1/2 becomes 2/4. Then return to that original problem. Now that the pieces match, what happens when we add 2/4 and 1/4? We have 3/4. And because of that original mistake, students just didn't learn about how to add fractions. They learned why common denominators matter, what fractions represent as equal size units, and how visual models connect to symbolic notation. So that single mistake unlocked real math thinking. That's what we want to be happening in the classroom, okay, guys? Students didn't just get an answer, they understood the math, right? They compared a procedural strategy to conceptual one, they connected fraction equivalence directly to fraction addition, and they revised their thinking using visual models. And here's the brain science piece, right? Students' brains are building stronger neural connections because they're noticing a misconception, reflecting on why it didn't work, they're correcting it with meaning, not just memorization. And that is the kind of learning that lasts. So let's dive into 5 powerful ways to embrace math mistakes that you can bring into the classroom tomorrow. Number 1, normalize mistakes with intentional language. So what we say as teachers shapes how students think about math. Instead of who got the right answer, try who tried a strategy, who solved this a different way, who changed their thinking. And when a mistake shows up, respond with, tell me about your thinking. What were you trying to do here? And we know this works because students are learning that math is about thinking, not speed or perfection. Number 2, use mistakes as thinking errors. This is a power move, right? Show a common mistake and ask your students, what makes sense here? What question can we ask this mathematician? And what might they try to do next? Let those mistakes become discussion starters, not embarrassment. And remember that the brain learns more when we're analyzing an error than avoiding one. Number 3, require models before answers. So before the answer, ask, can you show it? Can you model it? Can you prove it? And use manipulatives across the grade span, okay? High school too, number lines, area models, tape diagrams. When students model, their misconceptions become visible and students can see their own errors and build understanding. And number 4, celebrate revisions, not speed. Speed is not the goal, sense making is. Use praise like, oh, I love how you explain your thinking here, and you made your reasoning visible. And wow, that's an interesting strategy. Let's explore it. Encourage strategy changes, right? Can you try solving this problem a different way? And don't forget to teach that problem solving requires perseverance. Tell your students, I love how you revised your thinking. You caught your own mistakes. That's so powerful. The brain strengthens when students revise and not just rush. And finally, be sure you're using reflections with every single lessons because that's where you turn those mistakes into learning. Here's some prompts you can use. One mistake I learned from today was something I'll do differently next time, or just a turn and talk, right? Reflection is going to lock in that learning and build the confidence, okay? So the truth is that mistakes are not interruptions, they are instructions. And when students are making mistakes, they're going to talk more, they're going to feel confident, and they're going to learn from them. So here's your big takeaway, right? Don't rush to correct mistakes. Pause, listen, leverage them, because in math, mistakes aren't the problem. It's the fear of making mistakes that are. If this helped you, share this with a teacher friend. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope to see you all next time in my video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see. Until then, take care.